Yo guys, sorry you already know that today we are back doing another Pokemon ranking. Today we are doing Generation 3 as I work backwards from the current generation to the first one. So we only have a couple more to go. We've been picking up the pace and it's been going well. Gen 4 was, solid, had a lot more top end and about as many bottom end as I expected. Doing a precursor look at this list, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. I feel like there's less top end Pokemon in Gen 3. Which is weird because this is a game that I played a ton as a kid, so there should be a ton of nostalgic value in a lot of these Pokemon, but I'm not sure how many of them have held up over time for me. We are going to see as we jump into it. There are a lot of Pokemon to get through. I mean, look at how many Pokemon there are. Quite a bit. So I'm not going to waste any time. You know the deal. We rank them in 5 tiers. I don't do F tier because there's not that many Pokemon that exist that I hate with every fiber of my being. Not even sure off the top of my head if there's going to be any that would even come close to that in Generation 3, but we shall see as we get into it. I rank these just as a Pokemon in general. It's not necessarily just like within this generation. It's just like if I'm putting something at S tier, I mean that's an S tier Pokemon across all generations, not just in relation to this. So if this is like an overall stronger or weaker gen, nothing's getting boosted by comparison to the generation. So if I have to fill the entire Pokédex in like B tier, I will, which I'm not going to, but anyway, I think you know how tier lists work. Yeah, I have 2 more to go after this, and then hooray, I've done it, I guess. But let's go ahead and just start at number 1. We got Trico. We're starting off strong. We're starting off very strong. I honestly almost wouldn't just go S tier with Trico. Like, is there any downside? I don't think so. Trico is like the best base level starter, almost of all time. Almost. But yeah, I don't think there's any downsides. S tier seems a little high. Because I don't feel like that strongly about Grovyle or Sceptile. But I don't think that I would say off the bat that Trico is my favorite. I do rank within tiers. No, I think I'm gonna do A tier. And I think I need to keep looking at them next to each other. I don't think it gets worse over time. This is a hard one. I almost want to come back to this. Why did I start off with like the hardest one? I don't know. I think they're all A tier though, for sure. I don't think I would defend any of these as like my absolute favorite Pokemon of all time. And that's why I can't quite put them in S tier, but they're like right on the border. But yeah, I think I do like Trico the most. Nah, Grovyle's pretty sick though. Maybe Grovyle's my favorite. I might just keep it in this order. They're all very, very close. But let's not spend too much time. Torchic is B? Torchic's fine. It's not, it's not incredible. Not like super cute or anything, it just exists. Combuskin is C for Combuskin. It's fine. It doesn't do anything crazy. It's still in its middle stage. There's not a lot of middle evolutions that do great stuff. Grovyle's the exception, not the rule. Blaziken definitely at one point in time probably would have been an S tier. It doesn't feel right to put him in S tier though. But I do think I'll go A tier. And I think this looks right. Mudkip I feel similar to Torchic. Maybe slightly better, but only slightly. Kind of similar with Marshtomp. I think Marshtomp's a little bit worse. And I might even like Combuskin more. But then Swampert's also just going like up to A tier. I definitely like Swampert more than Sceptile. I mean, at this point, is Swampert just my favorite of the 3 or no? I'm not entirely sure. The starters here are like very high quality. The final stages are all very, very good. I'm not defending any of them as like my favorite Pokemon of all time. That's why they're not going above A tier. And anytime I would, I'm forced to choose like, oh, who's your favorite starter from Gen 3? It's like, I don't know. Like, the Trico line is the most consistent. Blaziken at one time would have been my favorite, but I don't know. Swampert's like pretty chill, I'm gonna keep it in that order, and we'll just leave it at that, I guess. The B versus C tier is always a debate in my mind because like B, it's just like I need to have something actively that I do like about them. B is like they just do nothing for me. I almost feel like Torchic could almost get moved down to C, but I don't think I feel strong enough about it to do that. Poochyena is definitely going to go high B. I do really like Poochyena. Dark types are, you know, pretty easy to just make cool. So it is what it is. It's just a dog. Mightyena is just a bigger dog. I think it still stays in B tier. I don't think it goes to the next tier. Yeah, not quite. Zigzagoon C. It's just whatever. Linoon is a little bit better to the point that I think I'll actually put it in B. Just because it just seems more graceful. I don't know. It's just something about it just looks a little bit better. Maybe it's the eyes. Maybe it's just like the lines instead of like all the jagged edges of the zigzags. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Yeah, this is what I mean. I was like, there's not a lot of Pokemon to get super excited about, especially once you get past the starters. Wurmple, I don't feel strongly about, but I would probably put above Zigzagoon. Oh gosh, which one of these is Silcoon and which one of these is Cascoon? Let me. I have a reference just so for things like this. Well, I think this one has to be Silcoon because this is the one that goes into Beautifly. So not that it matters. Cascoon sounds better than Silcoon as a name because I said so. Beautifly's so close to B, but I feel like it does nothing for me. And Dustox is also a pretty forgettable Pokemon. I would say that I like Dustox more than Beautifly. Do I like it enough to put it in B tier? Probably not. And I really think the early Pokemon available in Gen 3 are actually pretty weak. Not gonna lie. Lotad's also just kind of like a C. I don't really. I know it has its fans, but I'm just not one of them. I think Lombre actually gets worse. Lombre actually might be a D tier. Mostly just because of like the face. It loses the sort of derpulous look and just kind of looks bad. Ludicolo's better. It might still stay in C tier. Like I'm not lying when I say it's like Gen 3 Pokemon are just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just played the games too much as a kid and like the early Pokemon have just like, you know, gotten old. I don't know what it is, but I just don't feel overly attached to any of them. I do like this line though. C-Dot, you know what? Actually, all right, yeah. Let's be a little bit more positive. C-Dot definitely go to B, and then Shiftry at one time would have been like one of my like top 5 Pokemon from this generation. I don't think I feel that way anymore. I think they're all staying in B tier, probably just below Poochyena, Mightyena. I think Nuzleaf is actually my favorite now. Nuzleaf just looked cool. I mean, got the leaf head, you know. This is just doing too much, whereas Nuzleaf is just simple and solid. So yeah, we'll go with that. Tailo Swellow, I think they also can go into B tier. It's a matter of where, I don't know. Tailo probably like lower, and Swellow just because it's like actually usable and slightly better. Maybe like here. Sure, that's fine. Wingull does nothing for me. I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier though. Pelipper, I also don't really care about. Look at that, C tier is like gonna be a lot of C tier. Oh man, I'm sorry if any of these are your favorite Pokemon, but I just don't care all that much. Alright, so then we have, you know, Ralts. Obviously Ralts is very cool. Ralts, very like elusive. Not really, but then, you know, you see Wally has one and then you want to go and try and catch one and then it teleports away and very sad, but if you get one, it's special. You know what I mean? I'm thinking B tier, but I'm also thinking maybe A tier. I think Ralts B tier, Curlia lower in B tier. Like maybe even below Nuzleaf. And then I think Gardevoir cracks the A tier for sure. Probably, you know what? Probably even like higher. Yeah. Let's do it that way. I think Gardevoir is the highest rated so far, but still only A tier. I'm not like as crazy about it as some people might be, but Psychic is undoubtedly a good typing. Then it got the Fairy typing, so that also helps it well. I don't think I cleared, but I mean, y'all should know at this point. I'm basically just I basically just rank these off of like design, any memories that I have attached to them. How like good they are in like a competitive sense doesn't really matter to me because I don't really play competitive Pokemon anymore. Though I do have experience with some of these probably. So whenever it is applicable, I may mention something about it. But you know how it goes. That's not really what I'm taking into account. Surskit is, Surskit can go into B tier, I think. Like what I was looking at it, I was just like, no, I definitely feel stronger about it than I do about like Pelipper Wingull and like Masquerain. Masquerain is probably one of the more forgettable Pokemon of all time. But I do kind of like it. I think it's, similar with Surskit. I feel like there was something. I think I'm going crazy. I was like, I feel like there's something that Surskit can like skate across water or something like that. I don't know if that was like in an anime. I don't know if that was in a game. I don't know if I'm just making that up. But I feel like I'm picturing that in my mind. Yeah, alright, Shroomish. Shroomish is like basically a staple of my team. If I'm not picking Trico as my starter, I mean, I'm getting a Shroomish. That much is clear. We're gonna put it at the bottom of A tier just because it's like such a staple of like all my teams. But the best part of Shroomish is that it evolves into Breloom, which is going to be our first S tier. Breloom is fantastic. Grass fighting is fun. It's just a happy little mushroom guy, and it hits very, very hard. I do like Breloom. Have fond memories of it. And like I said, if I'm not picking Trico, I mean Breloom is a staple on all of my teams. So that's that. Here we got Blackoff, I guess. We'll put that probably right here. I've always thought it looked kind of cool. Vigoroth I actually like a lot. Like a lot. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Like, it just looks menacing and scary, and he's got like the white and red, like the dark claws. I just think the color works, the design works. It's very cool. He goes from being very tired to very awake, back to being very tired. Slacking. I'll just put you right next to Slackoth, I guess. I don't know if I care all that much about which one's better, but I think the problem is that Slacking is like, stats are really good, ability's really bad, so it makes it hard to use. Even like in-game and stuff like that. Like Vigoroth you can use in-game to some effect. Like Slacking, it's a lot harder. So yeah, I feel okay with that. Nincada, we're gonna put definitely B tier, probably like right below C-Dot. I do think it looks pretty cool, but it is just a bug. Ninjask though, I've always definitely been a fan of. I think Ninjask might actually go to A above like Shroomish. I've always really just liked how Ninjask looks. It's very fast. There's really not much more than that. Shedinja, I mean, getting a Shedinja is hard enough on its own. If you don't know ahead of time. Its gimmick is pretty interesting, but I think as a Pokemon itself, it doesn't do all that much for me. So I'm just gonna put it at the bottom of B tier, because I still like a lot of things surrounding it, but it's not a Pokemon that I'm like going out of my way to use. So yeah, I think that's fine. Whismur, I don't really care about, but I do think I'll still put it at the top of C tier. The best thing about Whismur is that it evolves into better Pokemon. Loudred, I think Loudred can go to the bottom of B tier. I do like it a little bit more. And then Exploud is like probably like higher up here, probably like around here. I thought about putting it in A tier, but I don't think I like it that much. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Whismur. It's just like crying, whatever. Loudred, big mouth, kind of seems goofy. And then Exploud's just like strong and has like the extra like wind things, whatever those are. I don't know. Pretty cool. Makuhita, also probably another one going into B tier. I feel like Makuhita is one that, I don't know, it's like a staple of my in-game teams, but like definitely I probably use more often than not. Also, probably because there isn't not. Well, I mean, I guess like Breloom. I was like, there's not a ton of other fighting types available to use. So, yeah, I think that's fine. And then Hariyama. I think you're just gonna go right next to. I feel like there's maybe a point in time where this would have been an A tier, but I don't feel strong enough for that. But I do like Hariyama. Very cool. Zero is definitely a like C tier. You know, baby. Who cares about baby Pokemon? I sure don't. And the fact that it's like normal type. Wait, is it? I know it was normal type. Is it still normal type or is it now fairy type? I don't remember. Either way, it's not water type. When Marill and Azumarill are. I don't know. It just seems very unnecessary. Nosepass sucks. I don't like Nosepass at all. It's just a rock with a big nose. I don't know. I don't need that in a Pokemon. So probably my least favorite of this generation for sure. Skitty, just a cat with a fat tail. Also a C tier. Delcatty is like not much better. I like the purple a little bit better than the pink on Skitty, but it's not really good. And I mean, like when it comes to normal types, you have so many other options. If you're even having a normal type on your team at all, you know, you're much better running like Vigoroth, or like Linoon, or Swellow if you count that, or Exploud, and like all of them are available at the same time or like before you can even get Delcatty. So it's not really worth using. So I don't. Sablei's a cool dude. Little trickster. I'd probably put it new top of B tier, I think. I do like the Dark Ghost combination. Little eyes, you know, the gem thing. It's pretty neat. I don't really use Sableye a lot, but I do appreciate its design. Purple's a good color. Got a lot of things going for it. Mawile like used to be one of the most forgettable Pokemon of all time, and then it got a Mega, which made it like usable. But if you're not using that, it's still not great. The giant jaws do have like an appeal to it, though. Especially because that's like a fake mouth and all that. So, you know, it has some interesting stuff going for it. I think I'll put it like right here in the middle of B. I did play Ruby as a kid more than Sapphire, so this was a version exclusive, I remember. So that was one that I ran into a lot. I didn't use all that often because, again, it's not that good. But, you know, solid Pokemon. Alright, there we go. We have some good... I was gonna say, that's not a good Steel type. We have some good Steel types here. We got Aron, which is probably going, like, up here. Lairon, which is, like... honestly, maybe the new top of A, and then Aggron, which is, like, sneaking into S for sure. Aggron, probably at one point in time, maybe would have been my favorite Pokemon from this generation. I mean, you know, it's a giant creature made of steel, metal, you know, big body, and you can, like, get it early enough on. So, yeah, Aggron, very, very cool. Big fan. I mean, just look at how cool it is. I don't think I need to say much more than that. Meditite and Medicham are actually Pokemon that my opinion on has probably improved over time. I don't really remember having a strong connection to either of them growing up. And part of that is definitely Mega Medicham, which is really strong. And I feel like I've just come back to appreciate like normal Medicham. So these are definitely going into the A tier. And I'm trying to think of it as like fighting types. It's like, yeah, I do think that I would say that I like them more than Blaziken. Probably like right around here, and I think Medicham's going a little bit higher in A tier. I think I still like Gardevoir more as like a psychic type, but I think this is probably where it goes. But yeah, these are Pokemon that I like a lot more now than I used to. And the Pokemon that I used to like a lot more, I feel like just over time, Manectric has, I don't know, maybe fallen off a little bit, maybe not, but Manectric is basically the like only good electric type that you could use, especially from Gen 3. I think there's other ones available, like, I don't remember in Ruby Sapphire, but like I know in like New Mauville, whenever you get access to that, it's like you can get like a Voltorb, you can get like a Magnemite or whatever. And then your other electric choices from Gen 3 are, you know, Electrike, Bustle, and Minun. So, yeah, you know, not much going for it. So just based on that and the amount of times that I did use this thing, I think electric does have to go into A tier. And yeah, Manectric probably would have been an S tier at one point in time, but I think at this point, I think I like these Pokemon more, and I think it's right around here in A tier. So I do like it. I do like electric types. It's very hard to do electric types wrong for me. They are a type that I'm partial to, just because, I don't know, lightning, you know, animations and stuff are very cool. I just really like electric types. One of my favorite types of all times, for sure. But, you know, at this point, I think there's just been a lot better electric types, and so over time, this has just sort of fallen on the wayside, and also because I haven't played Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald in a very long time. And I feel like with that transition, you probably expect me to just, like, bash these things completely. But I kind of don't. I feel like I went through a period of time where I tried to make Plusle work in some sort of competitive sense. It was really fun. It didn't work, but it was fun to try. I don't know. I sort of have fond memories of like Plusle. I like Plusle more, which is weird. I like blue more than I like red, but I feel like I like Plusle more than I like Minun, probably because Plusle is just a better name. I don't hate these two. I feel like I should, but they're kind of cute. I don't know. Sue me. Oh gosh. Volbeat and Illumise, which I always just called Illumise, but I'm pretty sure it's Illumise. Volbeat, very good band. Not a great Pokemon. I don't think I can put Dustox in C tier and then in good conscience put Volbeat like above that. So I think Volbeat is probably just like in the same tier, but like around there. I think Illumise is actually worse. I think it's just like the way its face is, maybe the eyes, but I just don't like it as much. I'm gonna put it like down here. I don't think it's quite D tier, but it's pretty close. But Volbeat's definitely better. Roselia used to be a Pokemon that just like had no reason to exist. It was not very good. But now you can get Roserade out of it, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna put it in B tier, probably like low B tier, but B tier on the list. I do like Roselia because I love Roserade. You know, in game you're probably not using Roselia all that much. There are other good grass types, so you don't really need to use Roselia, but it is, you know, it is usable. Gulpin, I think Gulpin's probably going to C tier. I'm not the biggest fan, and I feel pretty similarly about Swalot as well. Like, they're fine Pokemon. I don't know. I just don't have a ton to say about them. They're just there. They exist. They probably would be better without their little, like, lip things. I don't know. It's a little creepy. That's all I got for you. Carvana is probably going to go in B tier right around here. I like the red and blue with, like, the little star thing and the yellow. Like, the colors working. Dark type, very cool. Sharpedo is definitely somewhere in the A tier. I would say that I like Sharpedo probably more than Swampert. I think right around here. Sharpedo is a very cool Pokemon. You know, also, you know, sharks are very cool. The eyes are very scary. It's got the, you know, blue with like the X still. It's very nice. There's really nothing wrong with it. Other than it's just like half of a shark. I don't know, like it just kind of, it's like a nub. It sort of cuts off, you know? I don't really know that I need like a full shark, but I don't know. I guess it was just, I'm trying to think of any reason as to why I did not put it in S tier. Wailmer and Wailord. I guess Wailmer will go to the bottom of B tier because I do like it. I think especially like new Pokemon Snap, seeing the Wailmers like sort of there. I don't know. Anytime you see them, they're just like happy, you know. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to like think of something better to say, but I can't. I do like Wailord more because it's a giant whale. Like this one, they committed to just like making a giant monstrosity. It's probably better than Slacking as a giant monstrosity. Probably like right around here, maybe. Like I like Wailord. I'm not using it all that much. I feel like there's other water types to be using instead. You know, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. I feel like there should be an Exhibit C, but maybe not. Whoops. Oh well. Maybe do I not use water? No, okay. I was gonna say there's gotta be other water types. I was like, I feel like there has to be other water types to use because I don't remember using Wailord all that often. But okay. Ooh, Numble and Camerupt. Numble. think is also gonna be, it's gonna be pretty high B tier. I think I'm gonna put it right next to Carvana. A Camerupt, I think at one point in time probably would have been an S tier, but I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. I do probably like Camerupt more than Blaziken. So we're probably looking around this spot. Maybe I feel similarly as Manectric. I mean, it's a Volcano Camel. It's just a Volcano Camel. What's not to love about a Volcano Camel? I'm putting it at the top of A tier. I was like, should I just put it into S tier? It's like right on that line for me. Camerupt, there's really not much that it does wrong. It's one of the only... It's basically your only real fire type option if you don't pick Blaziken as your starter. So it definitely did work its way onto a lot of my teams. Screw it. It's going to S tier. It's going to S tier. Camerupt S tier. I really like it a lot. I feel like I just didn't remember how much I liked it until I just, you know, thought about all the memories that I have with it and reminded myself that it is in fact a Volcano Camel. Camel. That's a word. Torkoal. Fire types are another type that I'm also like pretty partial to. It's kind of hard to do a fire type wrong. Torkoal, I like Torkoal. I don't love Torkoal. So probably around this area, because like in every situation I'm probably using Camerupt over Torkoal, especially since it doesn't evolve or anything. But it is a fire turtle, so there's that. It's got like the smoke. It's neat. I like it. Spoink in concept, I feel like I like. In reality, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm kind of going between B or C. With the way that I let off with it, I'm like, I'm not really talking positively enough about it to argue it for B tier. But I will put it in C tier. But I do like Grumpig. But I think that's where I'm sort of like at a crossroads here, where it's just like I like Grumpig. I like up here. But Spoink, outside of the fact that if it's not bouncing, it dies, which is hilarious. And sad, I guess. It doesn't have much else design-wise. Whereas Grumpig is just a purple pig, which I do like. You know, Psychic type's very good. I don't know. I think Grumpig's pretty cool. Spinda's never really done anything for me. The fact that it has like the spots and the different patterns, it's kind of cool. I think I'm putting it right around here. Yeah, it's not offensive, not bad, but it's not very good, so I don't really use it, therefore I don't really have any memories with it. So Spinda is just there. Okay, we have Trapinch. Trapinch is probably going into this little section here of the A tier first stage evolutions, which I probably like more than these two at this point. Vibrava is also very good, probably like below Sceptile still, maybe slightly better than Trapinch. And then Flygon's very cool. The green and red really working for it. It is a dragon. Dragons are inherently cool. I think Flygon's going to the bottom of S tier, and I know I struggled putting Camerupt there, but I still think that I like Camerupt more than Flygon. Does that feel right saying that out loud? I don't know that it does. Nah. Actually, I might even like Flygon more than Aggron at this point. Dragons are just so cool. Yeah. All right, that looks a lot more right. All right, I was gassing up Camerupt in my mind, but like let's be realistic. Flygon's just so much cooler. Speaking of cool, you have Cacnea, Cacturn. Cacnea, I think it's gonna end up somewhere in the middle of like B tier. It's a pretty good Pokemon. Maybe like around there. Cacturn having the dark type is very nice. It is better. I think this is gonna sneak into the A tier, probably right around there. I think I still like Sceptile more as a grass type, but I do think it's like in that area. It is a good Pokemon. It truly is. Swablu. I like this, like, you know, the little cloud bird. This is also going to go in this area here, probably right above Electrike. And similar to the last one where we had this, Altaria is going into S tier. And I think when I used dragons in this game, Altaria was the one that I used the most because it is the most accessible Flygon's not too inaccessible, but Altaria, I think you generally get to first. Yeah, so I think Altaria's going there. I still think I like Breloom more, but I do like Cloud Dragon. Yeah, Altaria's always been one of my favorites for sure. It's just a good Pokemon, and yet again, dragons are cool. Zangoose is one that I used to not care about at all, but I think over time, Zangoose is just, you know, skyrocketed as just being like really cool. You know, it's very strong. It's got the little like patterns on it, the red and white. I think Zangoose is going up in A tier, like pretty high up actually. I feel like back in the day, Zangoose would have been like a C tier, but I don't know. Over time, I just feel like I've been sleeping on Zangoose. And the Zangoose Seviper, you know, rivalry is pretty cool. Seviper is also a very, very cool Pokemon. I actually think I like it more than Zangoose. But I think I'm just going to put them together because they belong together, even though they hate each other. But it's just a big poison snake. The colors are fantastic. The purple, the black, the yellow, you know, with the red on that, with the sharp tail. I mean, Seviper is just very, very cool. I almost want to put it higher, but it's like harder to justify putting it over these. So, yeah, it is what it is. Solrock and Lunatone. I think I like Lunatone a little bit more. Lunatone's going to end up in B tier because it's a Moonrock, which is cool. Yeah, I feel like Lunatone Mawile is like a pretty comparable thing. And then Solrock, I actually don't really care all that much for. So Solrock's going to end up in C tier. And now we've reached the part of the video where I need to scroll to see the tier and the Pokemon below. So, yeah, no, Solrock's definitely better than Pelipper. No, Solrock's, Solrock's better than Whismur as well. Hello, there we go. Yeah, I think that's a solid place. I think the colors are probably different too, just like, I don't know, this bright, like, orange, yellow, red thing. It's a bit much, whereas, like, Lunatone is a bit more, you know, calm and whatever. I don't know. I feel like you probably understand what I mean. Moon, better than Sun. Just like Pokemon Moon, better than Pokemon Sun, probably, I guess. I know I have that stance, I just don't know how strong it is anymore. Barboach, Whiscash, I actually really like these Pokemon. I can't justify in my mind putting Barboach above, like, Ralts, though. So, I think I'm gonna put Barboach here, and I'm gonna put Whiscash. Ooh, gosh. Whiscash. Definitely above Barboach. Definitely... I'm just gonna put them next to each other. I don't feel that strongly about Whiscash, especially next to, like, Mightyena. Yeah, but Whiscash is pretty cool, you know? This generation did pretty good with its water ground types, because it has multiple. And, I just like it. Neat. It's got the little crown there, because, you know, Whiscash is royalty. Alright, Corphish. I feel like Corphish is a Pokemon that I never cared all that much about, but I think over time it's definitely risen up the ranks. I think Corphish is probably gonna go like right below Nincada, and then Crawdaunt, mostly because of the dark typing, the Crabhammer, the usefulness that it was in certain situations in competitive, the fact that it's my boy RTK's mascot for his channel, or at least was at one time. I think he still incorporates it into his art because he doesn't really do Pokemon anymore, same as me, outside of certain situations. But I do think Crawdaunt is probably deserves an A tier at this point. I'm looking to see what it would go above. I think I like Sharpedo more as a water type. I think I like Swampert more as a water type. I think I'm actually struggling to really want to put it any higher. I'm going to put it higher than Shroomish and Electrike, and I think that's the highest it's going, but it's still A tier. Still a very cool Pokemon. I like it. I like it a good bit. Definitely a lot more than I used to. Baltoy. I feel like no. Baltoy is a B. I was like, I almost put it in C, but I was like, I can't say that +1 and mine are B and not say that Baltoy is. I like it more than Loudred. Yeah, I think that's fine. Claydol. I don't remember using Claydol all that much. Probably because it's just better Psychic type options and better Ground type options. Oh, also, I think this might have... No, this wasn't a Sapphire exclusive. I remember seeing plenty of Baltoys, I think. I feel like there was some reason that I just didn't use Claydol all that much, but I don't dislike Claydol. Claydol's probably staying in the B tier. I think I like Grumpig more as a Psychic type, so I'm just gonna put it right next to Grumpig. Lileep I don't really like. The flower with these weird tentacle things is not my favorite. Cradily, I feel similarly about. I used to definitely hate Cradily, and probably would have put it in a D tier, but I do think that the green and yellow colors work for it a lot more, and it is pretty creepy. I'm actually gonna put it at the top of C tier, which is a big improvement over what I would have done with it a long time ago. I like detested this thing, but it's okay now. But more than okay. Anorith is definitely like one of the better, actually. Straight up, it might be my favorite, just like first stage. It's just, you know, the black and red like color scheme, very nice. Got a little scorpion type thing, or whatever it is, whatever type of bug this thing is inspired by. I think this is a solid placement, and then I think Armaldo is not going to go much higher. Is it going to go higher at all? Yeah, it'll go a little higher. No, I'm just going to put them right next to each other. I feel pretty similarly about both of them. They're very cool. I think Armaldo, I think I like Anorith more. Is that weird? That's probably weird. But they're very, very similar. But as I look at them, I was like, I think the coloring's a little bit better. That's about it. That's about the only thing I have to say. PBS is kind of stupid, but it's kind of stupid on purpose. So it's gonna go to like top of C tier. Milotic can go into A tier. I never really had a chance to like use it in game, but I always wanted to. It, you know, did pretty well in like competitive. I'm thinking of like the Milotic you take pictures of in new Pokemon Snap. It's just very, very pretty. It's definitely going like higher, probably like here above Metatite. I think that's a solid spot for it. Yeah. I feel confident in that. Castform is cool in concept, but in execution, it's just like not my favorite. It's fine. I like the idea that they're going for. I think I'm gonna put it like above Feebas, and I'm gonna put them all in the same sort of thing. I think the Raindrop is better than the Sun. Raindrop's probably best. I think I like normal Castform more than the Sun, honestly. I don't feel so strongly that I'm gonna divide them up further than that, but I think this is an accurate portrayal of my Castform opinions. Kecleon, I've always thought Kecleon was really cool. The camo is really neat. It's not that bad of a Pokemon to use either. I would put it above Shroomish. At this point, I would probably put Electrike above Electrike. I don't know if I can put it above Crawdaunt in good conscience, so I think right there is where it stays. But yeah, I really like Kecleon. You know, the chameleon thing is really cool, and I don't know, I just really like it. Shuppet is also going to A tier. You know, with purple, the eyes, very, very good. I think I'm actually gonna put it like a little bit higher as well. It's definitely one of the best first stage Pokemon. And then Banette, I think it's just gonna go like right next to it. I think I might actually like Shuppet more, just design wise, but you know, Banette's very creepy, which does work more as a ghost type. Nah, Banette's better. Yeah, no, it just has more to it. It has like more personality. I like it more, but they're still like right next to each other. Duskull, Dusclops, also very, very good. I'm gonna put Duskull as the new top of B tier, and Dusclops pretty low in A tier, like right around here. I like them. They're the ones that were in Ruby, which is the version that I played the most as a kid. So, you know, those are the ones that I used if I ever used them. And they're just neat. They're spooky. Got the skull things. You got the hands. They're, you know, they're good. Got the big red eye. I like it. Tropius. I think you can go B tier, probably like right above Whalmer. I do like it. It's not all that good, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say. Bananas. Chimecho, who cares? Chimecho is like probably the most nothing Pokemon of all time. Just like, yeah. Like, just who cares? I don't know. I feel like Chimecho needs, like, more to it. It's not that good. It's got the Psychic type, but I just feel like there needs to be more to it. But one that there doesn't need to be more to is Absol. Absol is the new top of the board. Absol is incredible. Dark types, you know, very cool. Got the Scythe thing, the white and black. It just has everything that I love. Absol has been one of my favorite Pokemon for a long time, and will probably stay that way for a long time. Why not? I don't know. Baby Pokemon, not my favorite. Wobbuffet's already, like, not my favorite, and I feel like this was not very necessary. I think I'll put it above Whismur. Because why not? Haha, you made the joke. Can you believe it? Snorunt. I think new Pokemon Snap has probably upped my appreciation for Snorunt, and really just showing off the fact that it's, like, shivering cold and, like, holding a little, like, jacket over it. I don't know. It's pretty cute. Glalie probably at one point would have been an A tier, but I think at this point I'm gonna settle for it being, like, right there at the top of B tier. You know, it looks very cool. The blue eyes, very nice, very menacing, and I don't know, I do like it. Spheal. I mean, Spheal, obviously very, very cute. One of the cutest Pokemon of all time. I probably like it more than Trico. I probably like it more than Meditite. Yeah. That's probably a solid spot for it. Celio, not as cute as Spheal, but it's still very, very good. Walrein. Walrein is actually more, like, usable. Gets the ice typing as well. Spheal also ice? I don't remember. Maybe it is. I didn't use it all that much. But walruses are pretty cool. I think this one's actually going to go a little bit higher, and I do think I like it more than Swampert. So I'm just going to put it slightly higher, and I think I'm even going to put it above Sharpedo. So right about there. A very good line of Pokemon. There's really nothing to complain about. They're all very, very good. Clamperl. Clamperl is kind of a nothing Pokemon. Yeah. I'm going to put it at the top of C tier, just because it has, like, the different evolutions. I know my boy RTK is pretty partial to Clamperl, and has made it work in some low-tier Pokemon, competitive Pokemon shenanigans a long time ago. But the evolutions are where it's at. I think both of them are probably B tier. I think Huntail probably used to be my favorite, but I think Gorbis is maybe a little bit better now. I feel like Gorbis was actually a little bit better of a Pokemon, so maybe that's what it was. I'm not entirely sure. But I do think Gorbis probably here. Huntail probably, like, here. They're not that far apart, but they're good Pokemon. Relicanth is also just going to be somewhere in the B tier. It is pretty cool. It's probably better than Gorbis, but, like, barely. I don't know. It's neat. It's neat, but it's not all that good. So, you know, it's there. Luvdisc. It's hard to have a vitriolic hatred towards the Luvdisc because it's just such a nothing Pokemon. But I am going to put it pretty low, because why are you ever using a Luvdisc? It basically serves no purpose. Its only purpose is, like, Heart Scales, I guess. But it's, I mean, it just doesn't really have a reason to exist. If you know me, you should know that this line of Pokemon is very special to me. Because Salamence was my mascot for a very long time. And in part is just because, well, in part is because my YouTube name started with an S, and Salamence also started with an S. But in other parts is because I already liked all three of these Pokemon. All three of these are going to go into the S tier. Salamence is going to go to the top. I feel like people automatically assume that Salamence is my favorite Pokemon. It's not. And I almost considered, I was like, is it even my favorite from Generation 3? It might be. We'll see as we finish off the list. Shelgon, I'd probably put in the middle. I don't know why, I just really like Shelgon. I like the shell. I like, you know, the little feet sticking out, the little red. I don't know, I like it. I do think Bagon's a little bit better. This is just further evidence that dragons are cool. But I don't think these two are anything without Salamence, but they do still hold a special place in my heart. So there is that. And yeah, I'll always remember that Bagon is trying to fly. I remember seeing like one anime episode where it was like focusing on Bagon's desire to fly, which I did not watch all that much of, like the Ruby Sapphire anime, but that is one of the episodes that I did. And that's like a Pokédex entry that I'll always remember now. But yeah, Salaman's very cool. Not much more to say about that. Another really great line of Pokemon. I think Beldum's probably just like going into A tier because it's just like the start, you know? And then as it gets more assembled, it's just like better and better. So like Matang can like come up here, and then like once it's like fully become Metagross. How high up does Metagross go? I need to think this one through. Metagross is very cool, but it's just not very usable in game. But it's Steel Psychic, very cool typing. Psychic types are great. I mean, Steel types are kind of hit and miss for me, but I think Metagross is definitely one of the better ones. I think I put it above Flygon. I still think I like Altaria more, though. I think this is where Metagross goes. There's a world where this could be like top 3, but I think this is the sort of range for it as I stand before you today, my fellow Americans. Regirock. I think all the Regis are going into the B tier. I think Regice is the worst, mostly because it's pronounced Regice, which is terrible. Regice is so much better. I think Regirock probably going like right next to Glalie. Registeel is probably going right next to Regirock. I actually kind of feel similarly about both. If you held a gun to my head and told me which one I like better, I think I would go Regirock. The Regice. I like it more than Snorunt. Is it disrespectful to put it under +1 Minun? Probably. Am I gonna do it anyway? Yes. Latias. Latias is fine. It's so weird. Latias and Latios are like basically the same Pokemon, but because of the colors, I'm just like, Latias is like whatever. Honestly, straight up, I just don't have any strong feelings for Latias. But then Latios, I'm like, at one point in time, this probably would have been like my favorite Pokemon from this generation. Like, it's a Psychic Dragon. It's very cool. It's blue. Dabba-dee dabba-die. It's going in the S tier. Right around here? Right around here. Yeah, sorry, I can't help it. I guess I just don't need both of them to exist, and then Latios is the cooler one, so then the other one's just kind of irrelevant. Maybe that logic doesn't check out in, you know, other ways that it can be applied, but that's how I'm choosing to apply it right now. Then we're almost done. Kyogre. I do like Kyogre a good bit. I would definitely put it in the A tier. I think I would put it right around here, like middle of A tier feels very right. Groudon. When I was younger, I definitely preferred Groudon. I think that's one of the reasons that I played Ruby. But nowadays, I think I like Kyogre more, like a decent bit more, to the point that I think Groudon is probably just B tier, right around here. I think I just like the blue and red like patterns, the, you know, big water thing, more than I like this giant red monster. Yeah, and it doesn't help that this isn't like fire type either. Maybe if it was part fire type, that would have helped it, but I don't know. Groudon is good. It's not as good as Kyogre for me. But then it doesn't matter because Rayquaza is an S tier. I just have to scroll up to get to it. Oop. Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but dragons are cool. Exhibit like 7, like there's so many dragons in S tier. At one point in time, Rayquaza was absolutely my favorite Pokemon from this generation. I think at this point I like Salamence more, and at this point I might even like Absol more as well. Shiny Rayquaza is just like out of this world. Mega Rayquaza, oh my gosh. And I usually say, I don't even know. I feel like I've always said Rayquaza, but over the years, I think I've started saying Rayquaza more because I think that's its like official pronunciation. Normal. Nah, I gotta put it above Absol. I can't do it. I can't do it to him. I think that looks right. Jirachi, I actually watched the Jirachi movie, which probably helps. Steel Psychic is a cool typing, as evidenced by Metagross. I do think it's just going to go into B tier. Probably like right here. I like Jirachi, but I don't love Jirachi. So I think that's where it can go. And then Deoxys. Deoxys is a Pokemon I didn't even know existed when I played Gen 3. Because it's so hidden behind stuff. I never watched the Deoxys movie. So this is like purely off of design, which I don't even know all the different ones. I know there's like normal one, Deoxys defense, Deoxys, one of these is attack and one of them speed, I think. I don't know, or is this attack, defense, speed, and normal? I have no idea. But we're gonna put, I feel like they should go in B tier, but I also don't really have strong feelings towards any of them. I think they're just gonna go to the top of C tier, but like right under Latias. I think I'm gonna put them all next to each other. I think design-wise, I feel this. So whichever one each one is, that's the order that I feel about them. And there we have it. I saw the time. I knew this was gonna take a while, but that's why I didn't want to try and take too long. Yeah, this is maybe not exactly how I thought this was gonna break down, but compared to other generations, I feel like the S tier is, it's not light on Pokemon, but it is very specifically dragons and, you know, pseudo legendaries, and then a couple of nostalgic picks. You know, more A tier than I expected, but I think the biggest strength of Gen 3 is the fact that there's not that many D tier. Even looking at it, I was like, Lilip and Lombre are sort of a stretch to even put in D tier, but yeah, so this almost made it as the first generation to not have any D tier Pokemon. That's pretty close. There's still plenty of C tier and some B tiers that I don't feel super strongly about, but I do like. But the top end quality is there. A decent amount of A tier, and you know, it's just sort of balanced all throughout with not that many D tiers. So that is my current feelings on the Generation 3 Pokemon. Let me know what some of your opinions are. Did I make any horrific mistakes? Do you want my head on a plate or whatever? Let me know, and I'll be sure to appreciate your comment regardless. We have 2 more generations to go. They will be coming up over the next few weeks, most likely. Generation 2 is going to be pretty interesting, because that is the most nostalgic generation for me. But also, when you think about Gold and Silver, a lot of the Pokemon that you can use in-game are a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon. So I think Generation 2 Pokemon is not going to hold up super well, but maybe it'll be better than I expect. We'll see how that goes. But I'm sure it's going to be a fun and exciting time. Hopefully you're looking forward to it. If so, let me know. I'll give you one last look of the whole tier list here, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So hopefully you enjoyed, but I will catch you on the next time. So till then, peace out.